Alright, this is another update on my Hurco km3 converted to Linux CNC. I have it running on Gmach Pi. I can jog it around, everything works. And the spindle goes down, up. Some of the upgrades that I did that I found really handy was I upgraded the spindle to a 30 taper spindle. So I'm using BT30 tool holders. You can get these for like $12 US. And I just made a drawbar that goes in there and just threads into the back without using a pull stud. Those are really cheap and available. And then I just put a pneumatic drawbar on here from eBay. That was like $50, I think, and it bolts right up. I did have to modify this a little bit. I had to make a new nut for this because the one that it came with was a left-hand thread. This one is a right-hand thread, and I had to mill down the splines of the shaft because they were a little bit too wide. And so I had to mill like 10 thousandths off of each spline, and then I had to turn the outside diameter of that shaft to make it fit inside, and I had to take like 10 thousandths off of that as well. And then it slid in, and it was a direct replacement. The bearings and everything fit up inside there, and then the nut that I made screwed on and held everything. This piece of paper is really what you need to know that I found to be the most challenging part of this whole conversion. And what it is the pinout, from what I can find so far, of this relay board. So I went down this, and all these numbers 1 through 41, and I laid it out on here so you can take a screen capture. And this is voltage is taken when it's in the on state. So relay K1, K4, K5, and K8 are on, and you can see that. So that's my power, and this one never had a relay in it. And I'm not sure if I need one there or not. I haven't found it to do anything. But when it's on, so pin like 1 through 10 is 24 volts, and those are all connected on the back. And then like if you go through here, so pin 11 is 0 volts, or you pull it to ground to turn on. And it's not really ground, you're pulling it to DC negative, which would be the gray in the bus bar, if I remember right. It's been a while since I've done this. I think yellow might be 12 volts. This is DC negative or ground, I guess. And then blue, I think, is 24 volts, and I don't know, orange is 5 volts or something. But if you go through here, so like pin number 20 or pin 15 is normally 24 volts, and then when you pull that to DC negative or ground, it turns on the flood coolant relay. This machine doesn't have flood coolant hooked up, but it does have mist coolant. Pin 17 is, and this is where I'm really confused. So pin 17, you give it 24 volts, and then that will give pin 20 also 24 volts, and then you have to give 17, 24, and 20 pull to ground to turn the brake off and the spindle on. I have not figured out yet how to turn the spindle on to counterclockwise, which I need to know to be able to put my machine into low gear and spin it at a lower RPM. 23, pull the ground to turn it on. 27 is to turn your servos on. So like your machine, you can power it on, and then whenever you hit the on button on the machine on Linux, this will activate your servo drives. So it'll turn these on and you'll hear all the servos click on. 30, it's also pull the ground, turn the servos on. 34 is your mist coolant, and 35 is also, 35 is to turn the K7 relay on, which is this relay. You can see it right there, K7. And I'm not sure what that does either. I just made a note of it, so if I want to use that relay, I can turn it on. The only thing I really had to add as far as additional electronics to this was I added this little relay board to get the end stops to work. Because there's this board already, and basically I disconnected, what was it, this pin 2, 3, 5, 7, 8. There's nothing there. So I had disconnected those, so I believe these are all just getting my signal voltages that go to 5 volts, and then it's been a while since I messed with this. And I made these little circuit boards, which is just more of these chips. I don't know if it'll focus. It's just more of these chips. And those give me a signal for the end stops, and then it allows me to turn on each servo drive. Basically all I'm doing with this is, so these ones that need to be pulled to ground, or like this one 20 or 23 that need to be pulled to ground, since my board is the 7i77, it outputs a 24 volt signal, so I can't output a ground. So what I'm doing is so if I wanted to turn on the spindle, so 17, so I give 15 24 volts, and then I also give pin 17, or whatever pin is on here, I need to give 17 on the relay board ground. So I give one of these relays, I'll activate it, this is going to the Mesa card, which turns on this, which then connects pin 17 to ground, or DC negative. So instead of giving it 24 volts, I'm basically just using this as a switch to connect to DC negative and ground out that pin. I think that's about all I had. Otherwise, the machine's working. I did change the control. I got rid of the arm and everything, and I put it on just a Harbor Freight cart and mounted my monitor to the lid. Have a little surface plate in here. And then I've just got some Allen wrenches, collets, end mills, tool holders. I need to make an organizer for this to keep them from rolling around. You know, parallels, soft jaws. And then my computer, vise, 246 blocks, stuff like that. I did get this pendant to work. I do like it. I wish I maybe would have got a different one that allows me to store data and stuff in it, but it does work fine. Now I'm trying to get a hold of it. So I can switch between, you know, X, Y, Z. You can see these, there's a bunch of YouTube videos of these. But it'll move. So it all works as it should. Comment if you have any questions. Let me know. Thanks.